Wow, you guys are really close. I should warn you, I had chili tonight for dinner. You guys are in trouble. I also took a Janicol tonight, so let's see how that goes. I'm excited to be here. Great crowd tonight, so we're going to have fun. My background is Lebanese, and my ancestors come from a small village in Lebanon called the Bekaa Valley, which is Lebanese for Shawarma Palace. I'm also fairly new to stand-up comedy, so one of my biggest fears is that I'm going to come up here and nobody's going to laugh. So obviously I'm quite nervous tonight. So, but quite frankly, you all should be nervous too, because nobody wants a Lebanese guy bombing tonight. I just want to go home and tell my wife that I killed tonight. So I'm celebrating a wedding anniversary soon, coming up. Been married for 30 years. Happily for 20. But it's hard work being married. I'm not going to lie, it's really hard work. But the keys to a long marriage are simple, but it's hard work. So I'm going to share the keys with you tonight. Number one, you got to trust each other. Never stop trusting your partner. It's really important. Number two, always keep the lines of communication open. You got to communicate with each other. And last but not least, always take separate vacations. It's okay, you can laugh. She's not here tonight. Now, my wife, she's a gift person. She loves getting gifts, which is a major problem because I am probably the worst at getting gifts. Like a few years ago, I was so proud of myself. I bought her a gold bracelet, and it said, "Happy Anniversary, Michelle." My wife's name is Sharon. Michelle is the babysitter. Well, she wasn't after that day. But yeah, and I feel bad because, it's been 30 years and it's been one disappointment after another. It's been let down after let down after let down. But she's actually used to it because she's a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. Oh, holy cow. We got some Leaf fans in the crowd, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, it's 30 years. The theme for 30 years is pearls. So I went online to do some research for gift ideas, and somehow ended up on Pornhub, which was really weird because I was in my parents' kitchen. But I saw something on there that inspired me. I'm going to get her a pearl necklace. I can't wait to celebrate. I'll take her out to a nice, fancy restaurant, and I'll surprise her with it right after the main course. I'll have the waiter give it to her. I just have to sit back and watch. I can't wait to see your face. So we have a son at home. And he's great, but I know that one day soon I'm going to have to sit him down and have the talk with him. One-on-one, man-to-man, because I know there's so much he can teach me. Kids know a lot these days. It's scary. And if you ever think that you're ready for kids, you never are. You just never are ready for kids. Like, in terms of, when we... Sorry, I lost my spot there. I'm still thinking about that pearl necklace. But yeah, we had him when we were 38, so I was a bit older, and I didn't have the energy that I wanted to be a really engaged and active father, right? So, you could say I was a lazy dad. This one time, on weekends I just wanted to sit down and relax on the couch and watch TV, watch sports, and he just wanted to play. So I said, "Son, I want you to go outside. I want you to find me a blue passion flower." So off he went. He was gone for quite a while, but eventually he came back and he presented me with a blue passion flower. And holy fuck, I was impressed because they only grow in Kenya. He just turned 16 recently, so he's going to go for driving lessons soon. Which, by the way, if you were a driving instructor back in the day, when the main mode of transportation was a horse and buggy, did that make you a coach? All right, somebody got it, thank you. We'll see how he does with his lessons. But now he's volunteering at the church, at the Catholic Church once a week for his volunteer hours. So I go with him and I practice my religion. I still suck at it. And he's also not aware of the history of the Catholic Church, with priests and young men, if you know what I mean. But I'm working on a project that will eliminate this problem for good. And if the project is a success, it will separate the men from the boys. I'm kind of glad, too, that the pandemic is kind of winding down, right? I mean, it was really tough to stay in shape during the pandemic, as you can see. With all the gyms closed for so long. So my wife thought it would make sense to work out at home. So we've had a gym in the basement for 6 months. And personally, I think he's overstayed his welcome. I don't even know how he got there. I never met the guy. It's also been a pain to be on so many Zoom calls. Anybody sick of Zoom calls here? Yeah. They're a pain. I've been on more Zoom calls the last 2 years than the previous 48 years combined. And you got to watch it because, on Zoom calls, I'm sure we've all heard the term, you're on mute. You're on mute. Drives me crazy. But there is something worse. If you hear, you're not on mute, then you're in trouble. And you got to watch what you say on Zoom. You got to be careful because, if you talk behind someone's back, you could be in trouble. But by the way, if you're talking behind someone's back, doesn't that mean that you're actually talking right to their face? All right, scratch that one. Any proud Canadians in the house? Yeah! Awesome. 4 of you. I love Canada, but I hate that we're so humble. We're humble. We never boast. We never brag. Like, bragging to Canadians is like being honest to a politician. This never happens. And it is tough to be really proud when your national animal is like Kim Kardashian. Big round tail, active mostly at night, and eats a lot of wood. And we have the weirdest city names in this country. There's a city in Alberta called Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump. I'm not making this up. Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump. And the story of how it got its name is pretty cool. Like, the indigenous people who were living there at the time built these barricades, these barriers, and they would herd the buffalo into these barricades, and the buffalo would run off a cliff and fall 30 meters to their death. And the story is that, this one boy liked to watch this, so he was down at the bottom watching from the bottom of the cliff, and obviously, a buffalo fell over the cliff, fell on his head and killed him. And it's a sad story, but hence the name, Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump. So it got me wondering, there's other cities in Canada, I'd love to know how they got their name. Like Fingered, Manitoba. I don't know what happened there, but I sure hope there was no buffalo involved in that one. And then there's Climax, BC. But I can assure you, anything that has to do with a climax does not involve me. Trust me. But the one I'm most curious about is Shiblubi, New Brunswick. Which is now #1 on my bucket list, by the way.